Gregor Arturo here with the Prometheus Initiative, and I got something to show you. So I came up with a new concept, a completely new concept, in terms of how to upstep some voltage, and I think it worked. Well, here it is. We got a octahedron coil, and it's a specific way it is laid out. So this is, I'm calling it the Type 1 counter-clockwise octahedral coil. Because there's a Type 2 which is on a different type of layout, and you can design them for counterclockwise or clockwise rotation, essentially. And the idea sort of relates to placing this in the center of a rotating coil. It's a little big for my rotating coil, but here it is nonetheless. I'm going to explain it right now. So we got the red and the black, and these 2 points, the electricity is going to come in. Actually, before I explain that, I'm just going to tell you what it's made of. It is constructed out of glue sticks melted together, and at each point is a quartz crystal. And next time I'm going to try it with fluorite, because it's octahedral. It's going to represent the same structure, because I had a dream last night where I was on a beach and with a whole bunch of people, like classmates, felt like high school, and there are all these billboards on the beach that were perpendicular to the ocean. That were giant murals of tsunamis, and it said "Warning, Tsunami," and it was in the type of artwork, Japanese style. I can't remember the artist, but he did the art set called the 37 Views of Mount Fuji, and it's a really famous painting of like tsunamis. There's one with a tsunami, well, not tsunamis, like giant waves, and like a little like canoe-like boat with 2 people in it with Mount Fuji in the background. And isn't that style? And so that was an interesting little correlation right there in terms of what it might actually mean. It's just not something metaphorical. And a girl found in the water a fluorite crystal, and she runs up and shows some people, and it's a completely clear, translucent fluorite crystal, which usually doesn't happen. It usually has like a purple or greenish tint, sometimes yellow. Completely clear fluorite crystal. I remember telling her that you should use it for helping to transmute electromagnetic energies from like computers and for protection. And so I consider that a sign from the universe that I'm on to something. So I came across this idea yesterday and started working on it yesterday, and I finished it today. And so the glue sticks are diamagnetic and the quartz is diamagnetic, and then you got copper wiring around it. So the whole thing's diamagnetic in terms of materials. The reason is because I was thinking of positively charging this for a capacitor, which is I think why it might not have worked when I hooked this up to the frequency generator. And it's not because I wired it wrong. I was getting almost no voltage going through this thing, and there's possibly several reasons why I couldn't get really any voltage to go through. Because in conventional knowledge, there's 2 ins and 4 outs. This thing should have worked in terms of the energy going in and out. So let me explain. So we got the 2 points here, the black and the red. Alright, ooh, look at this. It's really cool when you spin it. Ooh. Alright, so the black and the red, you'd hook the negatives up, and the electricity is going in that way. Now to explain what the black and the red means, it's opposite rotation. So if you're viewing this from the top, the red is rotating counterclockwise, and the black is rotating clockwise. And the same for this, except it's vice versa on the other end. So the energy is going to the 4 points, and then the electricity, these are the positive terminals, go out. And because it's coiled, it's going to be creating a magnetic field. Now the interesting thing are the green and yellow coils, because electrons are going to want to take the shortest path. Well, what happens is no electrons are going to move to the green and yellow coils, but each one of these faces relates to what I talked about in one of my first videos about how laying out an octahedral pattern. The vector on this face, as you can see, get really close, you can see the wires right here going out, going up and over and into this. So the vector for the magnetic field on this one is going in on this black face and in on this red face. So this green one, you're going to want to go in too. So it's going to be creating a magnetic field pulling the vortices in. And its 3 neighbors are going to be going out. And so there's 4 triangular faces with magnetic field going in and 4 of the magnetic fields going out. And the yellow and the green are sort of wired a little bit differently in that they bounce back and forth in terms of where they meet. This green and this yellow, they start on the bottom part, so they aren't opposing each other. And they, on this side, they're on the top, on this side, the bottom. And what happens is, because these are creating magnetic fields, the red and black ones creating magnetic field either going in or out, it's going to induce a magnetic field, the yellow and the green wires going either in or out. And so you're creating 8 triads, 4 in triads and 4 out triads. And so it's creating additional energy with these 4 other coils. And what will end up happening with this one, we have it on this axis, the energy will create an actual electron movement in a counterclockwise rotation, like so. Oh no, wrong way. Okay, and well, the concept I'm having is gonna upstep the voltage, and well, I was running a DC system. If it upsteps the voltage out, it might not run on the system in that you can't have it going, the voltage going out from the generator being say like 50 volts and then it wants to go in say 100 volts. It's not necessarily going to work. So the one idea I was having with this is to positively charge this in terms of a capacitor setup with the rotating coil. So the coil is actually negatively charged and this is positively charged. This would represent the nucleus of an atom, while the rotating coil represents the electron cloud of a atom. And so this would rotate counterclockwise, while the rotating coil would rotate clockwise around it. At least that's what I'm thinking. Anyways, I would really, really love to get some input on this device and how to maybe run it more accurately. The type 2 coil would involve energy going in one way, out the other way, and then the 4 points, 2 going out, 2 going in. And that might work a little bit better on a DC setup. The thing is, would the energy go out and in on the 4 on the sides, because it would want to go through the 4 to the 4 points and then back out, down, outwards. And so it wouldn't want to necessarily travel out these 4 points. You could wire it a specific way so it would travel out the 4 points before coming back into the octahedron. So when I have the chance, I'm going to make another one of these, a type 2. However, I was much more interested in the type 1. Had a little bit more symmetry to it. And what's cool is even though the electricity is moving a certain direction, you can just flip-flop the rotation of the wire to change the direction of the magnetic field. So there's almost like 2 different types of vectors going on, the magnetic vector and the electric vector within this system. And yeah, really cool concept. And hopefully something can manifest out of it. I am leaving, it's 1:35 here in Chandler, Arizona, and I am leaving first thing in the morning to go up to Sedona. I have a ride with a couple friends, and looks like I'm going to be staying on a friend's ranch and doing some work, and hopefully I'm supposed to be introduced to author David Childress Hatcher, who's the publisher of Adventures Unlimited. He's written a whole bunch of books. One book I'm reading by him, or his company published, is The Harmonic Conquest of Space by Bruce Cathy. Very interesting book. And there's also a Tesla scientist I'm supposedly going to be introduced to, and another physicist in the area. And hopefully I can connect, and maybe some collaboration can begin. I heard my horoscope for this time for Virgos, that's I want to collaborate, is what Virgos want to do, and that's exactly what I want to do, some serious hardcore collaboration, and maybe this free energy thing can take off. So adios my friends, namaste, and sweet dreams.